it'll impact whether you're feeling happy or sad or bloated or all those things are technical terms.
Hello and welcome to our Spotlight series. I'm your host, Carla, Egan, and today we're talking to a coach that is passionate about health and wellness and getting the most out of life for her clients. She believes small changes equal massive results. And our guest today is Jodi Dunell from Jumpt. Jodi joins us from Victoria. Welcome, Jodi.
Hi, Carla. How are you going? Thanks for having me.
It's great, and thank you for being on our series. Now, our conversation today is going to centre around food. And I'd like to start off our conversation, Jodi, by asking you about the myths that surround food and that keep people stuck. So what's a myth that you'd like to bust today?
Well, I've probably got two in mind, but one definitely is that vegetable oils don't come from vegetables. And a lot of people think that they're healthy. In fact, they're not healthy. So saturated fat is good for us. So that's one myth that we've been told: low fat and eat vegetable oils. So I think that's a big myth. So go for the saturated fat and ditch the vegetable oils.
I've just made a note of that and I learned something new. I wasn't aware of that. Fascinating. So in terms of people listening to our podcast, Jodi, what's one thing as a health and wellness coach, what's one thing that they could do to start to improve their health right now?
So I think the one thing that will go into the myth that I just busted was to be aware of the foods that have vegetable oils in them, because they're quite toxic and they've been linked to a lot of chronic illnesses. So if you could ditch all the food that had vegetable oils in them and got rid of foods that have got lots of sugar in it, you would be making a massive step to helping yourself, especially in longer term diseases. So dementia, heart disease, diabetes, all those sorts of things. Sugars and vegetable oils factor into that. So that would be a massive step.
I'm making notes here. As we're going on what's on my shopping list and what's off my shopping list. Now, I know that you work with one-on-one clients that have specific needs and tailored needs, but you also do groups where sometimes there's power in the community and there's support, but also accountability. Can you just talk us a little bit through how you support your clients to improve their health?
So the one-on-one sessions, as you said, I think they're more for people that are wanting issues and also mindset and going back and understanding their mindset and understanding their beliefs of what's brought them to where they're at. And the group ones, they're fantastic because there's that group support and I can help being able to bounce off one another. So this week I'm in the moment doing a 12-week reset, but one of the challenges I've actually set for them, speaking about vegetable oils, is to go through their pantry and clean out all the vegetable oils that are in their pantry. So we're doing that together, and I think that's been something that the other girls that have done it have really enjoyed, learning all the information that they can then use to improve their health, and it does give them, it empowers them and puts their health back in their control of their health back into their hands.
I like the pantry audit that you do with your clients, because it gets them to do it and not set a task and forget about it. There's a couple of things that I just want to pick up on. You talked about mindset, and there's obviously an education component around nutrition that you bring into your programs. Can you talk about how they work together, Jodi?
Yeah, well, I honestly believe that the foundation to life is health, but then the foundation to your health is having awareness and understanding. And if you're not aware of what you're doing, well, then how do you get to change it? So that's sort of one thing. So we need to have that awareness. And then once you've got the awareness, it's like, well, so what do you do? Like, you're aware that you might be talking negatively, but it's not as easy as just, change it and, I'll just change my words. But being mindful of that and the fact of, I guess, the words, how strongly they can change how you feel. So all of that adds into whether you're going to feel like you're eating well, or whether you're exercising well or not, and all your beliefs around food, even coming from the social aspects of that, because there's a big part that plays into it, as well as how people feel connected when they're eating, or they feel like they're going to miss out, or, there's lots of diet terms, on and off the wagon. I'm eating good, I'm eating bad. And it's trying to understand that mentality and stepping away from that and using different words and understanding that, we're doing this for our health. We're not missing out. We're going to be missing out if we're not healthy, that's for sure. So mindset is crucial. And the food that we eat actually impacts the way that we think too. It impacts our mindset. So it'll impact whether you're feeling happy or sad or bloated or all those things are technical terms. But food plays on that as well. So they feed off one another.
I made a few notes here, and look, it's really about your relationship with food, isn't it? It's about how you think about it, but also how you feel about it pre and post eating as well. And look, there's so many diets out there. There's so many different programs. What comes to mind is the soup diet, the Atkins diet, the keto diet, and they're just three that rolls off the top of my tongue. So what would you say, what advice would you give to people, Jodi, that are listening to our podcast, that have tried numerous diets, different programs, but they still have a challenge in improving their health? As a wellness, a health and wellness coach, what advice would you give to those people?
I really think to keep searching for the thing that makes sense to them, but really understanding where they're at and understanding maybe their condition, or getting that knowledge and education. I think that's key, because then you know why you're doing something. So I think that's key to going forward, because then even when you go to the doctors and specialists, you can actually ask them the right questions, and you never know, you might even know more than them. So I think understanding your condition, asking questions, and if you're not satisfied with an answer that a doctor's giving you, there are other doctors out there, and there are other people that can help.
Yeah, great. And there's a range of different programs, different approaches to suit each individual's needs. It's no one size fits all. That's what I've taken away from this. And thank you for shining a spotlight on this and busting that food myth around vegetable oil. Oh my goodness. Now, my last question for you, Jodi, you're on the coaching directory as a health and wellness coach. So what does it mean for you and your business on listing on our directory?
Yeah, I think it gives me another platform to be on, and health and wellness is for everyone. So I'm sure there's coaches out there that are probably love to improve their health, but that they would have people that they know. So just being on a platform that has a wide reach, and also the great education that you give us. So I'm always out learning and wanting to know more about business and putting ourselves out there. So I think the coaching directory also gives me a great platform to learn more about that as well.
Great. Thank you, Jodi. And that brings us to the end of our Spotlight series. Thank you, Jodi. The Spotlight has been on you today. And I also want to, share with our listeners there are different approaches to your health and wellness. And if you want to find out more about Jodi's 12-week reset program, she runs them throughout the year, please jump onto our events calendar because she posts them on a regular basis there. So thank you, Jodi, for sharing your passion and your mission in improving people's health.
Thanks for having me.
And look, thank you to our listeners for joining us and following our Spotlight series. If you enjoy our show, please rate and review us and be sure to catch us on the next episode. This is Carla Egan from the Coaching Directory, where we connect you to your ideal coach.